Yeah, no, that's not going to go well. Meanwhile, the sieges continue. I think they got one siege before they need to, move to Hipponian, then Rhegian, and then they're in Sicily. There's not a lot left. You're drilling, trying to get your troops as good as possible before the inevitable fight for Sicily itself. But yeah, the battle is definitely swung. If I was Macedon, I'd be retreating out of this because you're losing. There's no point in staying in when you're this. But actually, the tactic again has changed. Who is changing this tactic? Because I don't see boats coming in and out. What we do see is some Numidian ships coming in. Obviously, that's not going to change any tactic, though. I don't know how he's changing the tactic there. So, extra ships come in. Are these ships going to be enough? It's more light ships. I mean, coming in with, ships that aren't damaged is good, I guess. He's losing the battle, but he's gaining a lot of time. That is true. That is very, very true. This has gained him quite a bit of time. He's got 27,000 holding the pass. I think he's definitely given up on fighting here. That's wise. So is anyone going to go and help Starchitec now? Or is it all hands on deck fighting for Sicily? Not sure yet. Needed a quick drink. Yeah, 752 ships versus 674. Considering this guy brought in an extra 100, I'd say Macedon now has again the advantage. Maybe this is what he's doing. Hello there.
Is my AI allowed to be called into an offensive war?
Offensive, no.
Even though I, as the owner, is saying it's allowed?
Then yes. If you are saying yes, then okay.
I'm saying yes to it. I would want to be in it if I was a player.
Then I'm okay with it.
Thank you.
Can you go and tell the people you're attacking that I said that? Because I'm busy.
Yeah, I will, as soon as it's declared.
Sure. Alright, so yeah, I think Macedon's pulling it back. Because if you, if you add on 100 ships to this number, then, they're... Oh, it's still so tight, though. I think maybe what you're doing here is you're gonna try and put a commander at level 10. Oh, you don't have any. What about if you take... Nope, that wouldn't work. Have you got any governors? I would take this guy off the Archisammatophylax. Temporarily make him a naval commander here, pull him out into the fight. You've now got the tactic. Actually, you don't need it. You've already got the tactic with a level 12. When the shit did that happen? Is that what already happened and I just didn't see it? Alright, so Magna Gracia lost 200 ships. They captured 38. The enemy, Macedon, lost 250 ships. So, yeah, that was huge. That was a big old battle. What I will say is very few heavy ships were lost for Macedon. Mostly trash, basically. So yeah, big old fight, big old fight. I love it. And yeah, they're now down to Hipponian. Only Rhegian after that, and then straight into Sicily. But of course they can also fight for this land here. The more that Magna Gracia gets sieged, the slower his manpower will recover. So he's basically got the one shot. He needs to defend, obviously, Messana, but he also needs to defend from naval fights coming in all across. Because, yeah, defending this strait is great, but if they land in Syracuse itself, I mean, what you going to do then? So having the stronger navy is definitely important. So yeah, what is the fight here going to be? I imagine, I'm fairly confident I know what the fight is going to be. It's going to be Arvernia calling in Pictonia to attack Emporion. That's just obvious. Apparently someone sent me a message on Steam. Stop sending me messages on Steam. So yeah, I assume, yeah. Jerumu has now attacked Babylon. So we're going to see a chunky Jerumu, or as chunky as you can get fighting what is now 500 pops worth of dead shit. Kush managed to take quite a bit of land in the north as well. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, I don't know. It would be nice if you could see this being colored in by Kush. Maybe if they colonize all of this trash, then it will be colored in their color. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Hopefully. Oh, actually, there's been a fight. Lockery getting a bit defensive, trying it out. Actually, no, I was going to say Magna Gracia going in to defend them. They aren't. Looks like they've got one big old merc stack as well. 111k is pretty big. There's another 80k here that they're using to defend. They can't hold on for long. I mean, you said there earlier about Magna Gracia really playing for time. They don't have time. Time is the one resource they really lack. Because they don't have the manpower, they don't have the money. Like, what exactly is time going to buy them? Certainly not going to buy them allies. They're losing. They need this war to end. And now Arvernia has landed on Corsica. So they're going to lose this as their manpower as well. I was talking about Macedon playing for time. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Macedon playing for time, yeah. No, I can accept that. Fair enough. They're still at +8 on Arvernia, despite having none of the war goal. But from 25 battles, it's so heavily in their favor. I am fairly sure Emporion knows what's coming. Look at that, the amount of claims he's got all over the place. He'd be really strong if he managed to take all of that. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Let's go and have a look at India. Doesn't look like any more land was taken. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. Fairly sure this is the same as before. And look at that. If he'd finished off this province, it would be completely encircled. Props to the Boja player for actually sticking in it. He's making a Bojan lake. Oh, got a feel for him. Well, yeah, now really Magna Gracia needs to think about how he is going to defend his island. He needs to really plan the defense. Forts on every coastline would be a start. Although then you've got to think, oh, he's got a ton of mega polyremes. That's just going to wreck us if that kind of situation happens. Trying to siege this province again. I don't know where Mauritania is. They've got some troops here. 40,000 is actually probably fairly enough for this, to be honest. Interesting that Celtiberia is not going after Emporion at all. I don't know what the story is there. We got 116,000 Emporianese troops just sitting in their territory. Getting on the boats. Where are they off to? Let's flip to you, because I want to see where these ships are off to. They're moving, but there we go. These guys are going... to the gates of Heracles. But I don't know why. Maybe they're coming to help here against this? I'm not quite sure. I mean, if he thought that we were going to see Arvernia attack him, then surely you'd want to keep your troops in this area? I don't know. Albion's still involved in the war. But is he doing anything else other than that? Nope, he's still just in that war. I wonder if his plan is to go around here and start sieging Celtiberia from another angle, maybe? Oh, are you crossing the strait here? No, but you are waiting for you to be locked, I assume. Now you're gonna go in? You really should go in right now while he's got a -2. Otherwise he's just going to assault it. He's assaulting it already, and all that hard work... Oh, God. I don't think he was even looking, and now you're going to lose that battle as well. Just bad plays. Bad plays. I got Elia also at war. Surprising that they this wasn't sieged for so goddamn long. Magna Gracia crossing the strait, I guess, to, you know, fend them off from sieging Rhegion. You know, it's basically, imagine this is their fort. They've just sallied out a bit. It makes perfect sense. And I like that he's just drilling, trying to make these troops as really, you know, as experienced and as powerful as possible. Makes complete sense. A Croton also being sieged. Corsica's going to get wrecked. Then Sardinia's going to get wrecked. Yeah, I mean, just I guess the big disappointment here is like the performance of Starchitec. He's not done super well here. I mean, he's got 275,000 troops, but I mean, they're just all over the place. They're not very focused anywhere. They really should be focused on a specific point of attack. And, you know, if you want to make that Mauritania, make it Mauritania. If you want to make it Emporion, make it Emporion. Or Magna Gracia. Or you just choose something. I think the Magna Grecian defense here is going to be fun to watch when this finally decides to get ahead. Because, I mean, let's be fair. Right? Switch to Macedon's perspective. They're at 22 war score only. They're going to need to do a whole lot more, like sieging this, to be able to get anything out of this war. And at the moment, they don't have that option. I think they do need to take Croton maybe before they can go further. Now that they've taken Hipponian and come back, maybe this is now blocking them, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe that's the case. But yeah, Magna Gracia. How long have you got until you're out of money? I mean, you've just got a massive influx of cash, probably from an ally. Where is it? No money there. That's not what I wanted to see, actually. I want to stick with Magna Gracia, but from Mauritania... gift sent plus 11, gift sent plus 25. Yeah, he's getting funded. Which makes sense. If you can stay funded, you can stay in the war. He's got enough troops to, you know, continue fighting. No bloody manpower, though. That's his big issue. If he had manpower, then he'd be fine, but he doesn't. And Macedon, I mean, they've got enough manpower to fight indefinitely. I think the big problem was Magna Gracia fought the Gauls expecting that to be his only fight, and it wasn't. Oh, Baron, have you just crashed again? Hello.
I did.
You did.
It was exactly the same.
Okay, go tell Vespasian.
Since it's 11, are we stopping or?
We were gonna stop on the 1st of January, but I guess we could probably stop now. Where is Vespasian?
It's right below the forum.
Hey, Macedon's crashed.
Oh yeah, I didn't unpause. I knew it crashed. Someone else did it.
Yeah, I mean, we could stop now.
Yeah, it makes sense to stop now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to restart.
No. Session 12. I bet people are going to be annoyed about that because we started so late.
Yeah, well, it happens.
It does indeed.
At least we got... we got every nation playable, bar Babylon.
And look what happens when you can't play. Alright, but I guess what I can do then is end my recording. So, yeah, I guess I will be right back with... What has happened here? Why is this? Why have I got a black bar at the bottom of my screen? Huh. Interesting. Anyway, what I'm going to do is end the recording now, and we're going to do some points, calculate that all up, and then we will be back with the scores and all that. So, yeah, I'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to the end of what was another really awesome session of Imperator Rome. So we started the session with the war between Emporion and Albion going on, and that continued pretty much throughout the entire session. And I guess this sort of could be considered a part of that as well, what's going on right now. So Emporion, of course, attacked Albion for a part of Great Britain, which they already owned a bit of it. They ended up losing by the end of last session. They lost pretty much all of the territory they'd occupied. They were almost fully occupied from their lands in Albion, and their entire land here was occupied as well. What they had left was just these 3 islands. So the plan for Albion, Pictonia, Arvernia and Lugia was to get their troops on these islands. However, Emporion had a much better and bigger fleet. He was backed up by Mauritania, who has a much better and bigger fleet. So getting their troops on these islands proved to be quite a very, very painful experience, something that they really struggled quite a lot to do. They, of course, didn't have the greatest tactics with it, but by the time they actually managed to finally land, we had Magna Gracia attacking Arvernia, calling in Numidia, and, well, they fought for Emporion, and just as this one final island managed to be sieged, they desieged these, and they desieged a couple of bits of land up in the north here, so they weren't able to 100% Emporion, because Emporion had won so many of the battles between them. There was no way to get a forced peace. So Magna Gracia attacked Arvernia, and initially it seemed like they were doing incredibly well. They sieged all of the Arvernia province. They were storming through. The only one that was able to really match him strength for strength, at least in like some battles, there was no way he would be able to keep the pain going, was Albion. And he had some fights south of the Pyrenees where he did pull his weight and actually do quite a lot of damage to Magna Gracia, winning a few battles. Of course, Magna Gracia's massive troop advantage over him means he would never have been able to keep going for long, but as far as I can tell, this is the first time that Magna Gracia has actually been matched for quality, at least for a very, very long time. He's been really ruining Macedon in even fights throughout the game, throughout their wars together. So it was very interesting to see Magna Gracia finally matched, and it came from a barbarian. So, very interesting. Then Macedon came back into the war and attacked Magna Gracia, and after a few little fights, it was pretty much all over. Magna Gracia had to retreat. He's now very low on manpower. He's conserving his strength and his energy over in Sicily, and this is where his stand is going to be. He's got these armies defending, but Macedon is roaming pretty freely around in Italy. Arvernia sieged the land that he lost before. I'm sure he's going to be requesting that be returned to him in the peace deal. And we also had Celtiberia getting involved, really beating up on Magna Gracia, but also not doing super well against Mauritania and Numidia. Numidia seemed more interested in fighting in Italy than fighting in his own land in Iberia, and, well, I mean, that left these sieges happening from Celtiberia's vassals. We also had Cyrenaica going into Numidia itself, and there's a little bit of a battle there, but it's nothing too drastic at this point. Only a couple of sieges so far. So that's what happened there. We also had Babylon. He was unable to get to the session because of prior commitments, and then when he did manage to get in from a hot join, he immediately desynced. He was just a sub, and he said that he didn't want protection, so his nation is pretty much dead now. Egypt, Thrace, Kush, Parthia all took their slice of the pie, and now Babylon is pretty much gone. Syria had a pretty quiet session. I didn't see them involved in much. They did have a pretty big war in the last session versus Thrace, so it looks like he didn't want a repeat of that. And yeah, he didn't get one. Kush took their piece of the pie from Babylon as well, taking all of the Geran vassal from him. So Kush now is pretty much the master of southern Arabia, And yeah, he's doing pretty well. Finally, we're going over to Egypt. Not Egypt, this is India, where Maurya is now hugging the coastline against Boja. He's trying to build a mega city, so he wants the coastlines for the ports, where he's probably going to do harsh treatment, encourage centralization in the capital, and trying to make Paliputra the biggest city in the world, because he loves his mega cities. Personally, I think they're fucking awful, and I really hope that they get massively nerfed in the future. But right now, that's not the case, and Maurya is going for biggest city. Boja, of course, he got a sub who stuck around for the entirety of the game, so props to him for that, but he was no match for Maurya, who is definitely resurgent and doing very, very well. We'll have to wait and see what Maurya wants to do. If he wants to form Bharata-Varsha, he's going to have to backstab his allies Shul and Alexandria Escate, who saved him from Boja. We'll have to wait and see if he's going to do that. But yeah, very interesting session. We had some problems early on trying to get people in. Iggy, especially in Maurya, he's on mobile internet because coronavirus and stuff. So he's finding it very difficult to get into multiplayer games. And it took us quite a while to get the game started. Eventually it ended up being Vespasian, who was the host of the game. And it worked reasonably well for the most part, but we'll have to wait and see what we do next week. But now on to the topic of the scores. Very even, actually. Probably the most even it's ever been, because we have only 5 winners, and 4 of them are within 4 points of each other. So we have Parthia in first place with 24 points, Maurya in second, equal with Albion with 21 points each, Iberia coming in third with 20 points, and then bringing up the rear in 5th place or 4th place, whatever, is Kush with 8 points. So yeah, interesting session, very much an enjoyable one to watch, to commentate over, and I hope you agree with that. We didn't go as far into the game as we were hoping. I was hoping that this was going to be the penultimate session. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. I think there's going to be 2 more sessions, so we are currently in 83. If we can get to 705, hopefully, and then go to 727 with the last session, that's going to be great. That'll make me quite happy, and yeah, fantastic. Lovely. So that is the session. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. It's been a great one, a great campaign as well. It's had its ups and it's certainly had its downs as well, but overall I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have too. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I keep saying enjoy quite a lot because that's pretty much my job, isn't it, to entertain you and have you enjoy my shit. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.